What's up guys, today we're gonna be looking at the SCP-4217, contained the Bismarck, also known as Nazi mutant warship.
The year is 1985, 16th of February. A pair of researchers aboard a model SM-03 deep-sea submersible are descending into the depths of the Atlantic Ocean. Hours ago, they were somewhere just off the coast of France.
Okay, so this is the place where Bismarck has been sunk by, I don't know what, I forget.
Surrounded by blue sky, the smell of the sea, and the warm embrace of the sun. But now, only cold darkness surrounds them. The depth of the ocean so vast and overwhelming, even light could not escape its grasp. The two-man team are members of MTF Gamma 6, also known as the Deep Feeders.
Deep Feeders? I don't know what the hell is that, but I don't know even what are deep feeders. What do they even do? Or were they made to contain the SCPs underwater?
A special task force that specializes in the investigation and tracking of deep sea or oceanic anomalies. Their mission: to locate and investigate the wreckage of a World War II German warship known as the Bismarck, thought by the general public to have gone down in the naval battle with the British in 1941. But the story the public doesn't know is the real reason the pair of Foundation members were tasked with locating the ship's wreckage site. Unfortunately for these researchers, today would be remembered for something far worse than they had anticipated. Radio transmissions recorded by the Gamma 6 duo detailed the events that took place upon finding the Bismarck, designated SCP-4217. The Bismarck lay at the bottom of the ocean, partially submerged in the sea floor, but to the astonishment of researchers, it appeared to be perfectly intact, with no signs of damage from its previous naval injury.
You already know if it's intact, then it's a monster, because the ship regenerated. You know the ship has been sunken. When it got down, it flipped the ship and the guns fell off it. But this is not that Bismarck. This is the monster Bismarck or something like that.
Engagements. Gamma 6 member Charles Miller comments, even after the better part of 5 decades, this ship is still in pristine condition. There is no water damage anywhere that I can see. Even stranger, no ocean sediment has accumulated on the hull of the ship whatsoever. Prompted to investigate closer, Agent Victor Miller begins operation of the crew's Model RV-1 Marine Probe, an unmanned robotic exploratory drone that allows the researchers to explore the interior of the ship's wreckage. What they found unnerved them, or better said, what they didn't find. Just as the outside of the vessel appeared free of any corrosion or wear, the interior of the ship was just as immaculate. The hallways were clean. The walls adorned freshly painted signs in still legible German. Even the Nazi symbols painted onto command centers still held no sign of disintegration. It was as if the ship had just come off the assembly line. But strangest of all was the lack of skeletal remains. At the time it was sunk, the original crew of the Bismarck boasted a 217 is divided into 2 parts. SCP-4217-A is the Bismarck itself, a Nazi-era warship outfitted with an array of 8 main guns, 44 secondary armaments, and dozens of units of anti-aircraft weaponry.
So yes, that. It also has one catapult plane, one seaplane, whatever was it.
SCP-4217-B refers to the anomalous cephalopod organism embedded inside the hull of the ship. SCP-4217-B has 2 large rectangular pupils inside of octopod eyes that protrude from the base of the ship, as well as 12 100 to 200 meter long tendril-like muscular appendages that extend outward from an opening in the stern of the vessel. SCP-4217 is deemed to be classification risk class dangerous, with reports of it emitting a mild psionic field within a 20-kilometer radius, confusing anything within range and increasing the likelihood of friendly fire among enemy combatants. SCP-4217-A's hull seems to have the ability of Adolf
Sorry guys, my dad's yelling at the back something. I don't know what.
Hitler turns to his most trusted expert on the supernatural, Chief SS Officer Heinrich Himmler. Among other projects, Himmler ordered the Anlernbe Obscuracorps, a German organization tasked with the procurement and investigation of otherworldly or otherwise unexplainable phenomenon, to begin the creation of two ships, the Bismarck and the Tirpitz, the former named after the Iron Chancellor Otto von Bismarck, who in 1890 unified the German people. These vessels were to be created using recently uncovered technological oddities the Obscuracorps had found in their studies of the occult. Sources of information about the exact creation of SCP-4217 are highly expunged from the record, but bits and pieces did survive, among what little the Foundation was able to collect, and in the records of the USSR after their occupation of Eastern Germany, following the fall of the Nazi regime during the Second World War. The earliest mention of SCP-4217's conception dates back to early 1937, when a top-secret shipment of unknown materials labeled Components of Thaumatological Constructs is intercepted by a Foundation agent working undercover in a German shipment center outside of Hamburg. The Foundation agent, Marcus Straub, is instructed to maintain surveillance on the shipment. In 1939, upon near completion of the soon-to-be christened Bismarck, a second shipment labeled with the insignia of the Obscuracorps is intercepted by the Foundation agent, only this shipment appears unlike any other. Reports of the massive shipping container holding machinery capable of aquatic life support indicate organic living cargo. Though the Foundation agent was unable to identify the exact nature of the contents of the shipment, Straub reported hearing sounds emanating from the cargo hold, sounds similar to that of a heartbeat. Just a year later, the Bismarck is seen making its first naval trial run when it experiences a massive electrical discharge just offshore, shutting the vessel down momentarily until power was restored shortly after. Reports show luminescent symbols briefly visible on the hull of the ship. Thaumatological symbols, for the layman, are symbols that embody the study of miracles. Because of this, it was apparent to the Foundation that some occult anomaly was responsible for the strange characteristics of the German vessel, and an order for termination was reached by the O5 Council, the hunt for SCP-4217. In the autumn of 1940, under orders of neutralization of SCP-4217, all active Foundation agents presiding in Germany were ordered to...
So guys, just to mention something, the Bismarck was hunted by a lot. Bismarck was the biggest target, just like its brother, the Tirpitz. Tirpitz was the primary target in 1944 because it could go and hunt a lot of shipping, getting shipped to Britain.
Converge on the side of the Bismarck to stop the completion of the vessel. But when the time came for the operation, every single one of the Foundation agents vanished. No records of what happened were ever found. No clothing, notes, not even a trace of their existence was left behind. The mission was deemed a failure, and subsequent attempts to neutralize SCP-4217 became far more difficult after the Bismarck received a full crew of seamen. The fully manned and well-equipped SCP-4217 became a menace to both military and civilian craft on the high seas of the Atlantic, at times appearing without warning, seemingly out of thin air. SCP-4217's psionic field obscured it from the new technological advancements in enemy radar systems
Hold on.
the U.S. government
Why
had
does
in development. The ship reports show luminescent symbols
Why does
briefly visible on the hull of the ship. Thaumatological symbols, for the layman, are symbols that embody the study of miracles to both military and civilian craft on the high seas of the Atlantic, at times appearing without warning, seemingly out of thin
Why does it
air.
look like that?
SCP-40
It wasn't that short in the back. Look at it. The front is normal and the back is more like I don't know what, like a PT boat. Like you cut the ship in half and put a PT boat in it. Yeah, and put a big gun on it. And also there's no exhaust pipes for the engines anywhere. There's no exhaust. There's no catapult plane.
217 psionic field obscured it from the new technological advancements in enemy radar systems the U.S. government had in development. The ship became a shadow on the Atlantic. a subject of ghost stories for anyone daring to assist the British government with the war effort. Furthermore, SCP-4217 did not seem to be content with the surrender of enemy vessels. Captured enemy ships were gassed, turning the men into manufactured beasts, and then sinking the enemy vessels to the depths of the ocean. Even submarines were no match, on one report describing an attempt to elude the vessel by diving below the surface, only to be entangled by enormous squid-like appendages that dragged the craft back up to the surface before crushing it in its grasp. Fearing the safety of the public, the O5 Council decided they could not stand by and let more innocent lives be taken. They voted to supersede the Foundation's policy on absolute secrecy to notify the British government of the danger SCP-4217 posed to maritime civilians. With cooperation from the British Royal Navy, Foundation representatives joined the...
Hold on, America has nuclear bombers, right? So you can just launch a little nuke. It doesn't have to be a big one, just a little one that can destroy a ship. Like the Bismarck could have been gone down. Now why would you put a cargo on a ship? Like an organic cargo. Is this even normal?